Welcome back, guys and girls, to part 3 of 3, the final video for World's Ultra Strongman Strength Island. And like I said, event 5, the 10 Atlas Stone Run. So obviously at this time of the day, the guys are going to be absolutely exhausted. They've squeezed normally a 6-hour competition into 3 hours, and they in the heat as well, so exhaustion has taken their toll, and they had to finally finish off on the stone run. So Mikahail Shivlakov was the first to go up on his own, again, so the first athlete to do that, and he didn't do too bad, to be honest. Overall, he smashed it, in my opinion. You know, he's an older guy. He's in his early 40s, so he's doing well to keep up with the younger guys. But he managed to get up to the 7th stone where he called it a day because he was clearly gassed. And like I mentioned, all the athletes were tired. You know, doing this amount of work in such a short period of time, 3 hours and less, is a big ask. You know, they haven't competed for quite some time, especially in a hot environment. So, because when they were in World Strongman last year in Florida, it was a hurricane season, so it certainly wasn't really that hot at times. Next up was Konstantine Janashia, and he went up against Bishop. So obviously, Konstantine, he's been off for 2 years, so he's going to be rusty. But nonetheless, he actually managed to do 8 stones. So, we made it to the 8th stone, I believe. So, fair play to him. Bishop did really well. He's very good at stones, I say. So he managed to get up to the 9th stone, which is 190 kilos. But despite his efforts with the last one, the 200 kilo stone, he couldn't quite make it. So Konstantine, as you see, he walked off. He called it a day. He didn't want to do any more. So he did the 8th stone. Sorry, couldn't do the 9th. Whereas Bishop here, he goes for that 10th stone, but he just doesn't get it. But Bishop, he can do it. I think he was just too tired, too much fatigue setting. I mean, these guys only need a bit longer to break. They needed, I think, to spread it out a bit longer. But for whatever reason, the time constraints were there, and they had to work within a 3-hour time window. So well done, chaps, for getting as far as you did on that stone run. So next up, we had Rauno Heinla, and he went up against Kearney. So again, with Rob, he's naturally being cautious, this sort of thing. And didn't go OTT. He tapped out at 6. He managed to do 6. He couldn't do the 7th, unfortunately. So he decided, yeah, that's enough for me. I'm not going to do any more, and I'll stop there. Rauno, however, he managed to get up to 8 stones, failing on the 9th. He couldn't get that last, that 9th stone, which is 190 kilos, by the way. And if some of you don't know, back in the day, it used to be 140 kilos was the max. So the fact that they're working up to 200 kilos now is a big ask, and the weights just seem to be getting heavier and heavier for them. And to ask them to do something like this at the end of the day, in such a short time scale, is a big ask for any athlete, young or old, or experienced or novice. You know, they all absolutely smashed it. Next up, we had the current world record holder for the Atlas Stone. That's Tom Stoltman, with a time just over 40 seconds in the last WUS competition. He went up against Eyfor from Iceland, and as expected, Tom finally had some redemption, and he smashed it. He didn't beat his world record, but he did do all 10 stones as expected in 67 seconds, so he actually won the event. Eyfor managed to get up to 8 stones, tapping out on the 9th, which he couldn't do, unfortunately. And guys, I promise you, I'm not drinking or eating whilst filming this. I'm just losing my breath at time because I'm speaking a bit too much. 3 videos is quite a lot to do in one hit. But so Tom, as we said, smashed it. Did it all, 10 stones, 67 seconds, and won his first event for the day. So well done, Tom. Unfortunately, didn't do so well overall this year for this World's Ultra Strongman competition. But as we know, Strongest Man, World Strongest Man is in June, July. You've got other comps as well, potentially, if they're not cancelled. So get back to training, you know, prepare, reevaluate, get yourself ready for what's to come, because you're a top athlete. Obviously, you're 2nd place in the World Strongest Man last year, and we know there's a lot more from you. You're a young chap, strong man, you know, really, really good athlete, and you've got so much potential. It just wasn't your day today, but thank you for still putting on a good show and not quitting, even though you wasn't doing your best. And we all get bad days, just like a bad day in the gym. So that's what happened. You still won an event. You didn't do terribly, but we know you can do better. So we look forward to seeing more from you in the future. And again, well done to Eyfor for getting up to that 8th stone with an almost 9 stone successful lift. So even 180 kilos is very impressive. So here you see him just trying on that 9th one last time. And sorry, correction, he does actually get the 190, my mistakes. He does get 9 stones, so well done, chap. Absolutely smashed it, and a deserving lift there. So very good to see that you got that 190. And again, well done to Tom for smashing all 10 as expected. You absolute beast and king of those stones. So next up we had Ervin and also Mohammed. Both made it to the 8th stone. And again went for the 9th, but unfortunately were unsuccessful in their attempts to go beyond the 9th stone. So not bad at all. I'd say, you know, overall each stone they lifted was fast and a good one fluid movement. But unfortunately, you know, they both tapped out again, gas tied at the end of the day, and it wasn't happening for either of them. So well done for getting your 8 stones and a good effort on the 9th. But I think if you had a bit longer, and perhaps once you're more prepared for comps are running regularly, you'll get it. So well done, chaps. So then we moved on to Bobby, Thompson and Luke Stoltman. And as we know, Luke is a great stone lifter. You know, he kind of gets overshadowed by his younger brother Tom, because Tom is so good. And Bobby, to be fair, I've never really seen him do stones often, so I wasn't really sure how he would do, but he's done well overall from the competition from the day, as we know. So Bobby actually managed to do 8 stones, couldn't do the 9th, so he decided to stop there. And Luke managed to do 9. So surprisingly, he didn't do all 10. We know he can do 10. But I think it just, again, like Tom, it just wasn't his day. I don't know if the pair of them, what they've been doing whilst they've been staying in Bahrain, perhaps they didn't acclimatise to it very well. Maybe they were relaxing a bit too much. I don't know, but something wasn't right with the pair of them. They weren't on their A game. They weren't performing to their best. But nonetheless, well done to Luke for getting the 9. So well done, mate. Lastly, we had, well, not our last, sorry, we had Aivars and Ramin next. And Aivars actually managed to get to the 10th stone, surprisingly. A lot of people didn't think he would do that. But unfortunately, when he actually got to the 10th stone, he actually fell over. So he really lost his balance, and the ball really, well, not the ball, sorry, the at stone really knocked him back. And then he said, no, that's it, I'm not going to go again. So clearly he wasn't feeling right, and he decided to stop, and fair play to him. Ramin managed to get to 8. He tapped out at the 9th, and I believe it's because his bicep or perhaps his forearm wasn't feeling too good. So he decided to quit there and got to 8 stones. So well done to Ramin. So unfortunately didn't get the 9th or beyond that. And again to Aivars for getting to the 10th, you know, so impressive. There he is, there's where he falls back there. So he did 9 stones in a very fast time, by the way. Lastly, we had Caron, and funnily enough, what a surprise, Novikov going head to head. So Novikov actually did all 10, as did Caron, in 2 very good times, to be fair. And Novikov, as a result, he came 2nd in this one, and Caron was the runner-up, so he came 3rd, because they both, you know, they both finished all stones, and it was only Tom who beat them with that time. So the overall runner-up for the whole competition, well, the 3rd place was Aivars, and like I said, he actually didn't win any event. But every time, in every event, he was high enough to score some points just to get him in that 3rd place spot. So credit to him for doing that, because I'll be honest, if Caron and Novikov, the pair of them got such high points throughout by finishing in the top 3, or with Novikov actually winning 2 of the events, it was not a surprise that those 2 would be on the podium. I think everyone was quite surprised that Aivars got to the 3rd place spot, but massive credit to him for doing that. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how he got there. It wasn't by disqualification or default. He still worked really hard and did really well. So fair play to him to get there. And well done to Caron and Novikov for both doing all 10 stones. As we know, only 3 athletes did it on that day, and they were the 3, Tom, Novikov and JF Caron. So great to see them doing that. You see there, Novikov just gets that 10th last stone. Took him a little bit longer. Obviously, he's naturally going to be tired as well. He's still human like everyone else. And Caron, no problem at all. Just took his time as well. You know, planned it well. Didn't hurt himself. And that's another thing. No one actually hurt himself on the day. So it was an amazing competition. I think there's a lot more to come from World Top Strongman. I love what they do, and I can't wait to see more future events this year. They've got lots going on. I've made a video on that already, which I'm going to link in the end of this video, so you can see their boxing fights coming up with Eyfor and L.A.D, Eyfor's other exhibition matches, and all other competitions they're going to be doing for the men and also the women's strongman. So lots of exciting things those to come up for that. And as you can see here, the end of the podium with Novikov, you know, deserving winner in 1st place, Caron 2nd, and 3rd being Aivars from Latvia. And just to add, in the 4th place spot was Luke Stoltman, and Ramin came 5th. So well done to Ramin getting to that spot. That's very impressive indeed. But, you know, talking about this guy here, Novikov, to come from winning World's Strongest Man, which no one thought would happen, you know, they saw him as an underdog, to now winning World's Strongman only a few months later. He's really made a statement now in the strongman world that I'm here to stay, and you guys need to be fearful of me and respect me, because this guy knows he's shit and knows what he's doing. So well done, Novikov. Congratulations, and well done to all the athletes who took part. Thank you, World's Strongman, for putting up another great competition. Can't wait to see more this year ahead, and just for all you do. You know, we love this sport, and we love strongman, and we love seeing it. So I can't wait to go to the future competitions myself in person, just like the good old days. But anyway, guys, hope you liked today's video. If you did, as always, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Amigo Finis, signing out.